Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 3070 in Minecraft Java Edition with a lot of shaders and a lot of resolutions as well. This one is the EVGA XC3 Ultra version of the card. We are running it with the latest NVIDIA drivers as usual, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see over in Tech Power-Ups, GPU-Z, all of the GPU specs. A resizable bar is also enabled, and we got 8GB of GDDR6 to work with. And over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5800X 3D and 32GB of RAM. This is DDR4 3600MHz CL14 in dual channel. Finally, in the Minecraft launcher, you can see that we're running Iris and Sodium to test all of those shaders with version 1.19.4. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's start at 1080p resolution using the high settings. I set it to 10 chunks of render distance instead of like 16 or 32. A lot of people like to see higher values here, but the reason I set it to 10 is because this is a CPU bound setting. So if I increase it, the GPU usage would just go lower and it would become a CPU test instead. So I set it to 10 right there, especially with the shaders. It makes a huge difference, and it makes it so we are GPU bound most of the time. Now to start this off, oh hello Jack. Oh, we see Jack right away. This is gonna be a perfect video. 2 Jacks, look at that, amazing stuff, my friends. But yeah, since we aren't really using any shaders and Minecraft is very light on the GPU, we're already seeing a CPU bottleneck scenario. We're using 30% of the 3070 and it's getting 700 frames per second. Now imagine in a perfect world we didn't have a CPU bottleneck and we actually had a CPU capable enough of maxing out the 3070 at 1080p resolution, maybe like a 15900K or something. That isn't out yet at the time of recording this video, okay? But yeah, we would basically triple our frames per second because GPU usage is around like 33%. So it would get us 3 times 700, so around like 2200 frames per second, 2000 something FPS. That would be crazy, right? But we do have a CPU bottleneck here at these resolutions. Oh, if I click R, it actually reloads the shaders. I had no idea about that. I'm gonna stop benchmarking it here at 1080p with the high settings. It's just too easy to run, basically. So let's enable some shaders. Starting off with BSL version 8.2.02. It is running extremely well. Now we're GPU bound, as you can see, getting 90-something% GPU usage with the 3070. And getting 200 plus frames per second. And mind you, these areas, forest areas, are very intensive on the GPU, especially with shaders. So I'm actually surprised that we're getting such high FPS, guys. This is really, really good. No stuttering to speak of as well. I think the last time that I tested this game, I had a few stuttering issues, but it all depends on the version of the game and how well optimized the new versions are. Usually they mess up something every time there is an update, and then the next one, it will be smooth. Oh, little village around here. This is interesting. Hello guys, how's it going? Now BSL shaders, I don't really like the bloom effect of it, but you can actually turn that off, so it's not really a problem. Around here, the GPU usage is going down, so we are CPU bound once again. 1080p is just too easy to run in Minecraft, even with shaders for an RTX 3070. That's amazing, actually. Look at that down there, by the way. Let's see the lighting coming off of the lava. That's looking beautiful, way better than without any shaders whatsoever. Yeah, that's great, guys. This is just lovely looking. So, high refresh rate 1080p monitors with the 3070 are just gonna be flawless here in this one. Moving on to Chocapic 13 V6 Extreme shaders. These look a little bit better in my opinion. I like them more than BSL. Mainly because of the vibrancy of the colors and the reflections are being a little bit crispier, you know, and of course I really like crispy things. And yeah, apparently we're also getting slightly higher frames per second than we saw using the other shaders. Although around here, yeah, it seems like the water is less intensive using Chocapic shaders, but the forest area is way more intensive than BSL. Look at those lens flares. Wow, looks gorgeous, man. This game is just absolutely beautiful. It looks better than The Last of Us. Now we're getting 150s. That's awesome. Also, I'm not really testing survival here today because I'm gonna test 4 different resolutions and a ton of shaders. So the freedom of flying around makes things a bit faster in terms of benchmarking, you know? Sun is going down apparently. It's almost sunset. It's looking really, really good. I really enjoy these little cracks. That's what I say. Yes, but you know, these little cracks in the middle of nowhere, these are very interesting sometimes, especially when they lead to caves and stuff. Yeah, pretty nice. Anyway, that's it for Chocapic shaders, keeping it simple and fast. It's just running flawlessly here. Also, if you see a few stutters here and there, it's just because it's loading chunks and stuff like that. It's normal in Minecraft, basically. Complementary Reimagined R1.4. Yeah, that's it. These were very much requested by you guys, so I include them from now on in Minecraft videos. It's looking really good, a little bit softer than Chocapic shaders, maybe as soft as like BSL, I would say. The lighting is just beautiful, guys, by the way. I really love complementary shaders in Minecraft. Are there God rays? No, I don't see any God rays. Interesting. Anyway, these are a little bit more intensive than BSL and maybe slightly less intensive than Chocapic V6, I would say. Unfortunately, the water feels very dead. You know, they still keep that texture from the original Minecraft look. Also, clouds in this one are looking pretty interesting as well. I like that. Wow, look at that sunset. Beautiful stuff, my friends. Really like this game. Every time I go into Minecraft with shaders, it just looks beautiful. Okay. And getting 200 FPS once again, so no issues whatsoever. Gonna sleep the night off. Here we go. Sunrise. Look at those God rays, dude. Beautiful stuff. You can mess around with a lot of settings here in these shaders, by the way, but I want to see if I can change the look of the water because I don't really like it too much. Oh, there we go. Reimagine. Okay. Realistic-ish. Let's try that out, guys. All right. This is exactly what I'd use with these shaders. Be sure to change the water settings. It makes all of the difference, basically. Yep. Very, very good looking indeed right now. And it's still super buttery smooth. I mean, it's Minecraft, you know, at 1080p with a 3070. Let's go complementary shaders. I wonder how different these will look to the reimagined stuff, because the main difference that I saw previously was the water, and now the water, well, we made it look good even with the reimagined stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Maybe a little bit less bloom effect here. They complement the look of vanilla Minecraft very, very well. You know, and I think like the reimagined stuff looked a little bit better, but it also performed a little bit worse. So it's up to you, obviously. I'm here to show you various different shaders, how they perform and stuff. And if you're interested in downloading them, well, they're not in the description because there are a ton of them, but it's very easy to install and look for them on Google. So I'm sure you guys will find them easily. Just search for their names and versions and download them and install them. Very, very easy. Okay, 180 something FPS at times. Pretty good stuff here. Let's try Continuum shaders. Now, I still have the alpha build that they gave me right here, but these don't really work with the iris. So there's that. I'm using the Continuum 2.0.5. Don't really like the look of these too much, but you know, a lot of people do, and that's completely fine. Start counting the FPS. This is interesting. That's really dark down there. Oh my goodness, okay. Jesus! What the heck? This is like, you can't see anything. Oh, now we can. Wait a second. It's adjusting the light to your eyes, I guess, the HDR or whatever. Oh boy, that's really bright here. It actually looks pretty decent in caves. Continuum shaders, not gonna lie. If you're wondering how the water looks, it's pretty nice. I would definitely come over here and take a bath on it. Yeah, pretty cool. There are some light shafts and god rays, as you can see, and the darker parts of the water look like this. I really like these god rays for some reason. So that's it for Continuum shaders. Not an issue at 1080p. Once again, this GPU is just a beast at 1080p. Moving on to the Kappa shaders for the first time. So I made a change over here. I disabled motion blur, but it's set to ultra, motion blur off. And it looks like this. Bloom is very strong in these shaders. The water looks amazing, by the way. Look at that. Wow, you can actually see the bottom there of the sea, of the river, or whatever this is, actually. Yeah, that looks great. Wow. Okay, you guys are onto something. Thanks for recommending these shaders to me, because they're very beautiful and also super intensive. Look at those frames that we're getting right now. 120 compared to the 200s that we were seeing previously with other shaders. Damn. I guess the water is just super intensive here, right? No ray traced stuff over here. As you can see, the reflections disappear whenever objects are off screen. But this water is just looking amazing. Oh, we got the light shafts as well. God rays. Oh, this is awesome, dude. Really dark areas as well, which is pretty realistic, actually. Damn. Oh, what the heck? Is there a spider around here? And we're out. It takes a little bit of time to adjust to the outside lighting as well, as you could see, the HDR stuff. Yeah, I really enjoy these shaders, actually. The water is probably one of the best that I've seen so far. Next up, we got the easiest stuff to do here under the shaders, Lagless shaders standard, and they don't look particularly good. The water feels a little bit off because the deeper parts of it are actually brighter than the shore, for example. Yeah, but if you want a ton of FPS and you like the look of these shaders, you can expect a ton of FPS, alright? 300s, as you can see, near the water, like 200s. It runs buttery smooth, not an issue. Gonna move on to the nostalgia shaders. These are new, I have never seen them before. Why is that yellow? Wait a second. Ah, much better. Okay. Let's try them out now. Ooh, wait a second. That's really soft at times whenever you're moving. Pretty weird. They're also very intensive. Oh my goodness, that water, dude. I love it. Thanks for the suggestion once again, guys. Like, these look amazing in the water. They are stuttering quite a bit more, though. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. These are stuttering like crazy, getting 19 or 21 FPS, 1% lows now. Maybe it was just rendering in some chunks down there. I don't know. I haven't really been there, so that's probably why. Yeah, the water just looks lovely here using these shaders, guys. Very, very good looking. What the hell is that? Ooh, it's a reflection of something on the water. It's a bit off, actually. Look at that, though. Kind of look like jello, but I like it. I like the look of it. Oh my goodness, I kind of want to eat it or drink it, you know. That's pretty good. Once things load in and it stops stuttering, it is a great experience, and these look pretty good as well. I would use a little bit higher render distance using these shaders though, because that fog effect, I'm not really a fan of it. You know what, guys? I am going to increase that render distance a little bit to like 16, for example. And it still looks very, very cloudy at the distance, or foggy for some reason. Look at that GPU usage going down, by the way, because of a CPU bottleneck, because of the chunks not being at 10. Yeah, this is not a good GPU test anymore. So let's turn it back down to 10 and test the next shaders down the list. 169 there. Perfect. Project LUMA is next. These look really good, guys. Look at the lens flares right away. Pretty damn good looking. These are super, super vibrant, as you can see. Kind of a really different look from the previous one. And it is performing really well at the same time. These are one of the easiest shaders to run on my list. Can I sleep already, by the way? No, not yet. Also, these are very clear shaders in terms of visuals, you know. Very bright, vibrant, sharp, and detailed. not soft whatsoever, especially compared to the previous ones that we tested, as well as the Kappa shaders. Those were really blurry as well. Yeah, I prefer the look of these, but that's probably because I am running this on a 4K monitor and 1080p already. It doesn't really look that great even on native, you know? I really want to take a look at the water whenever the sun is above us, so I'm gonna wait a little bit, or maybe see this water right here. Also, GPU usage is fluctuating again. We are CPU bound with the Project LUMA shaders. Just goes to show you that these shaders aren't really that intensive for the GPU to render. I'm gonna use like the Ultra preset here on Project LUMA next. These should be a bit more intensive. Not really. It's kind of the same, and it still looks the same in terms of shadows and everything. All right, look at the water, guys. Look at it. It's so gorgeous. Deeper parts of the water are really dark, and the not so deep parts of the water are very, very bright, and I love that look here in Project LUMA shaders. And those lens flares are just top notch, my friends, top notch. These are probably one of my favorite shaders that are super vibrant and crispy and detailed. And as you can see at the distance, 10 chunks also look really good, right? And I can show you the water over here. Deeper parts are really dark, and the other parts are really bright and vibrant, and it's so blue. It's beautiful, my friends. It's just, I love these shaders. All right, moving on. Not intensive whatsoever. So let's try some very intensive shaders next. SEUS PTGI E12 shaders. These are actually ray traced or path traced, not technically ray traced, but yeah. As you can see, the reflections over there, for example, on those trees won't disappear once the objects are on screen. And that little detail on the reflection side of things is just gonna wreck your FPS completely. As you can see, we're getting 60 plus still, which is pretty good, but you know, the previous shaders were getting us like 200 plus FPS, and they looked a little bit better than these, in my opinion, of course. If you're looking for a more realistic look, this will give you that. Oh my, the ice actually looks pretty good here. Look at that. That's beautiful. I usually say that SEUS PTGI don't really look all that great, but over here, it is just insane, isn't it? You know what? This might very well be thumbnail material right here. We got the lava right there. I just put it there for a thumbnail. And we're getting 69 FPS, so that is absolutely perfect, right? But damn, those reflections are just awesome. Oh, look at the fire reflections. That's pretty interesting. Okay, that's it for SEUS PTGI. Lovely stuff here. Let's see SEUS HRR 3. These render at half resolution, but they do look a bit better than PTGI in my opinion because they're way more vibrant. Okay, never mind. This might actually be our thumbnail. I don't know. I like the vibrancy of it. Although it's really soft at 1080p though, the softest that we have seen so far. And it is even more intensive than the PTGI stuff. Look at that, dropping into the 50s at the moment. But yeah, it drops from 60. It looks really soft. I wouldn't really recommend these, honestly, although they look fabulous in terms of the colors. SEUS Renewed is for those who like the SEUS look, the realistic-ish look. Oh, that looks pretty bad, actually, compared to what we've seen so far. These are not path traced, as you can see. Reflections disappear. But I think I wouldn't use these guys. Compared to everything that we saw so far, these are very, very meh indeed. Water looks all right, but the ice, though, the ice doesn't look good whatsoever. And finally, the last shaders are the Sildurs Vibrant Shaders V1.5 Extreme VL. These have volumetric lighting, they look great. The ice, dude, these used to be pretty good looking to me because I don't usually test it near ice. But now seeing the ice there, the others were just lovely, okay? I'm actually going to test out 1440p around here instead of flying around various parts of the game, you know, because I really am enjoying seeing the ice here in this one. It's looking great. Anyway, it is also dropping into the 170s around here. Usually these aren't really that intensive, so it's interesting that they are dropping into the 170s. The lens flares, though, like, I'm not sure what I did to the lens flares in this game. I'm pretty sure I didn't change anything. Yeah, just reset it, and there is no lens flares. I love the lens flares on the Sildurs Vibrant shaders, but they're not here anymore. Yes. Okay, so we can turn them on after all. I highly recommend you to do that because look at that. Gives you a purple hue on the image. Very pleasant to look at, in my opinion. Once again, Sildurs shaders, not a problem. Like, it's none of the shaders were a problem to the 3070, actually. HRR3 maybe a little bit too much. So let's increase it to 1440p now and see what it's capable of at that very adequate resolution for this GPU as well. Here we go now, 2560 by 1440 resolution, still using the same high settings, no shaders at the moment, and we're getting pretty much the same thing as we saw at 1080p. Maybe slightly lower FPS for some reason. It could be because of the area where we are at the moment. A little bit more stuttering as well because it's rendering the new chunks in. But overall, you can expect like 500 plus frames per second if you don't use any shaders. So yeah, you can max out like one of those 500 hertz monitors. Don't even know if those are a thing yet, but they have been shown in like CES and stuff like that. So let's stop it, okay? And let's enable what matters. Shaders, oh my god. Such a difference, dude. Look at this. Damn, that's beautiful. The glowing lava is amazing. Again, the bloom is a bit too much. I'm gonna disable it. Here it is. Turn that off. Apply that. And that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? It's like a cleaner image, I think. And it's still super bright and vibrant as well. I like BSL shaders. Unfortunately, that ice is still kind of looking vanilla, you know? I don't like that look too much. The previous ones with the other ray traced shaders or path traced shaders looked a heck of a lot better. Let's see the water here in BSL at 1440p. Damn, that's looking really beautiful. The lighting as well, all of the trees around here, super vibrant and detailed. Holy crap. Dude, I didn't expect it to not drop that much here at 1440p. Look at those god rays, man. The light beams, holy. Looking perfect. Can we check out the water, actually? All right. Not too bad. Wait a second. Where is the... Oh, boy. I'm lost. Okay, wait. Let's go out through here. There we go. Oh. Interesting. It was the exact spot. Yeah, we can see the reflection on the water there. Look at that. Interesting. Oh, that's super bright now. That's lovely, dude. I like it. I like BSL here. Wow, what a different look, dude. Chocapic 13 V6 Extreme, like this has nothing to do with BSL, like in terms of the lighting and the colors as well. That lighting is just gorgeous, and those reflections on the eyes are just gorgeous as well. Holy. Anyways, it gets still a high refresh rate experience using Chocapic Chocapic 13 V6 Extreme shaders. The water looks amazing here on Chocapic as well. Look at that, dude. Damn. God rays, lighting. Lovely shaders, these ones. They are a little bit darker in forest areas, as you can see, by the way. It's daytime at the moment, not like nighttime or sunset, somewhat sunrise, I guess. But yeah, these forest areas are always super dark in Chocapic V6 shaders. Stop it right there, 150 FPS. Dude, this is just perfect. At this point, I don't know why I actually tested this at 1080p, because 1440 is the way to go. If you have a 1080p monitor, even with a 3070, I recommend upgrading to 1440p. All my friends with GPUs of this tier are actually playing at 1440p, and they're very happy with the experiences. Of course, they will last longer at 1080p, especially in games that require a ton of VRAM to run. Anyway, talking about the Complementary Reimagined stuff, they are a little bit more intensive, yeah, it's getting like 120s on average instead of the 150s from Chocapic. They look really good, a bit better than Chocapic at times, in my opinion. You guys draw your own conclusions. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with all of these shaders that we're seeing. They all look great to me, basically, aside from like SEUS Renewed. I don't really like those too much. Complementary shaders, not reimagined ones, are also looking very nice. Gonna start counting the frames. They're a little bit less intensive as well. Could be because of the water setting in the previous ones, but yeah, it looks very good. These were my favorite shaders. Like when I was playing this game every day with my friends and in the server and stuff like that, I actually used these the most, I think. Also, that power usage is at 250 watts at times. That's pretty high for a 3070. It's a 220 watt card and it's pushing more than that, interestingly. I think I lost my lava place. Maybe it's this way? Wait. Oh, yes. Okay, we found it again. Okay, good stuff. So these are the complementary shaders at 1440p. Still a buttery smooth experience. And let's try Continuum. Not that impressive, is it? Like, there is no light coming off of the lava, for example. I don't really like that too much, okay? But a lot of people like this look, once again, so let's not judge, alright? Digimoon, for example, loves Continuum shaders. Water does look great. It's getting like 120s and 110s near water at times. Look at that, yep, okay. Even lower 100s. It's okay. It's not my favorite shader, but it still runs pretty well on the 3070 at 1440p. Let's try Kappa shaders once again, quickly. Ice is still not looking that great, and these are way more intensive, dropping into the 80s. All right, finally, we're starting to see the RTX 3070 struggling a little bit. I wouldn't really call it struggling, honestly. It's still delivering an awesome experience. That lighting on the Kappa shaders, man. That looks freaking amazing, right? Damn, the water ripples and the little waves and stuff. That is just awesome looking. It's super intensive, dropping down into the 70s at the moment. But it is worth it. It is totally worth it. These shaders are starting to become my favorite ones out of the bunch, honestly, because of that water. At least in terms of the water, they are my favorites. Lagless shaders, standard. I'm not testing light, by the way, because standard already look better and perform really well. Ooh. It's really close to the vanilla Minecraft, right? Like, oh my goodness. It's getting really high FPS. Yeah, and there are lens flares and stuff like that. And of course, the water looks way better than vanilla Minecraft. And the shadows, look at that, dynamic shadows as well. But I wouldn't use these. There's just no way I would use this. Unless you are a competitive Minecraft player and you want super high refresh rates with shaders still. Yeah, I wouldn't do this at all. Let's go nostalgia shaders. Ice is still the same. I guess we will only see that really nice ice with the path traced stuff, unfortunately. Maybe there is a way to make the ice look a little bit different with other shaders as well, but yeah, I'm not really fiddling with the settings too much in this video, you know? The dynamic shadows are looking awesome, look at that. Yes, they are a bit pixelated, but they're very accurate. Water is also looking great, of course. Look at the light in the water, like that's beautiful. Finally, the forest areas. It's getting really dark right now using nostalgia shaders, by the way. There's the fog at the distance that's super distracting actually when using lower chunk values. But yeah, they are not as intensive as the Kappa shaders, for example, but not as good looking either. How about Project LUMA during this sunset scenario? Ooh, that's a bit lackluster compared to the previous one. You know, it still looks great, and those clouds look awesome as well, but yeah, there is no, like, huge purple hue or whatever. Now, we do have some interesting reflections, more interesting than the previous shaders, for sure. Look at this. Yeah, this looks nice, actually, at night, over in the ice. And the ice also looks a bit better than the previous shaders that we saw so far. Let's see it near... Actually, I'm gonna sleep the night off. You know what? Now, these shaders are looking fantastic with that lens flare right there and the reflection. What the hell just happened there? Did the tree just load in? I don't understand. Damn, dude, this looks very good. Let's see the lighting. Not as impressive as like Kappa shaded. Those were just top-notch lighting in those shaders. The water is very close as well. I mean, and overall, it's a more vibrant look, of course. Yeah, it still achieves a high refresh rate experience even at 1440. Now the path traced shaders. PTGI E12 first. Ooh, 60 frames per second. Now that's not bad. Now it is a little bit bad though. 50s. Jesus, it's so intensive, bro. Holy crap. And the lack of light on the lava just sucks a bit, dude. How about the other lava here, the lava spot? Yeah, that's not emitting almost any light, right? It's a little bit better than outside, but still. 50s. It's playable. And we got some motion blur, which kind of fakes the smoothness factor of it, you know. It's playable. If you enjoy these shaders, you can still have them at 1440p. It's such a shame that no other shader mimics this look on the ice. The clear ice, you can see below it and walk over it and see the beautiful reflections at the same time. It's really nice looking. Basically, SEUS PTGI shaders have the best ice of all of them. I love it, actually. Now, the HRR stuff should look a heck of a lot better now at 1440p, because it's half of 1440p. It's much bigger resolution than 1080p. Yeah, it's still super soft though, but on a 27-inch monitor, you might like this. It comes down to pixel density. If you have a high pixel density on your monitor, you run like a 24-inch or 27-inch 1440p panel, these might look very good. 32-inch monitors, nah. It's getting 40s, super intensive as you can see. It might even drop into the 30s depending on what you're doing. But that ice looks amazing. And the water as well, look at that. SEUS Renewed, this is it. Very bad looking in my opinion, once again. But, you know, certainly a little bit better in terms of ice, at least, compared to others. Lighting looks great using SEUS Renewed shaders. Water doesn't really look all that great, and it's not too vibrant, so it's probably why I don't really enjoy these ones too much compared to the previous ones. Yeah, I'm putting little beds everywhere on the map. It's very interesting, very interesting. Anyway, it's still buttery smooth here using these shaders. Very, very good. And finally, the Sildurs Vibrant shaders. We got almost 200 frames per second using these. Not a problem. Damn, it's just crazy how strong this GPU is. I forgot because of the recent titles. You know, Hogwarts Legacy puts this to its knees. The Last of Us puts everything to its knees. And I forget that the 3070 is actually a really strong GPU. Again, I am aware this is Minecraft, but Minecraft with shaders is actually super intensive. Okay, so it's surprising to me at least that it's achieving such high FPS, especially in the most recent version of it, which is more intensive. I'm starting to lose my voice here. This is going to be a really huge video. Anyway, let's disable the shaders now. Quickly play using like 4K res. Here we go, 3840 by 2160 using the same settings. No shaders at the moment, and it is getting us almost 1000 frames per second. Well, it's the same thing as previously. 600, 700, 800 in less intensive areas. Even 1000 is probably possible here. Yeah, now GPU usage is starting to go up by a little bit, and down here it can achieve 90% at times. Actually no. Okay, I thought it was going to be a little bit more intensive near the trees, but it isn't. Yeah, it's still entirely CPU bound even at 4K. Minecraft is just not intensive if you don't use shaders, obviously. BSL is first, and ooh, still 100 frames per second around here. That's really good. Wow, 120 at times. Are you serious? I thought 4K with shaders was gonna wreck the RTX 3070, but no. It is still so good, dude. If these are your favorite shaders and you have like a 4K TV or something, try it out there with the 3070 because it is way sharper. Like, this experience is awesome. Why did we test 1080p and 1440? It already does an amazing job at 4K. It's just so great, dude. All right, Chocapic shaders, 120 around here. 70s near the water, by the way. Of course, disregard the stuttering. If you're playing Survivor, things are going to be way smoother because you don't need to render the chunks as fast. So it will stutter a bit less. As you saw, that little frame time spike right there was a bit smaller than the other ones that we've been seeing so far, flying around. And yeah, you can expect like 80 frames per second at 4K. It's just so gorgeous, by the way. VRAM is totally under control as well, 4 gigabytes, going up a little bit at times as it renders in stuff, but it is pretty damn good, guys. All right, Chocapic V6 at 4K is still very good. Let's do Reimagined, Complementary Reimagined. That looks amazing. It's way more intensive though. It's getting 60s and 70s around here with the reflections and stuff. Still very playable, but it might drop from 60 FPS. If you want that 60 plus all of the time, these might not be the way to go. You know, maybe complementary, normal complementary are a little bit better than these. We should probably move on from this area. You know what? That's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's fly in that direction and see what else we can find. And sleep in a little bit because it's almost nighttime. How many days have we spent making this video already? I know, like real hours. It's been like 2 hours that I've been talking non-stop almost. No, wait, is that Roach right there? Yes, it is. Hello, Roach. How's it going? I'm sorry I forgot about you, by the way. 70s. Interestingly, it's getting less FPS right here than it did near the vegetation and trees. I didn't see the camera stopped recording, but yeah, overall it's pretty solid. I didn't really see it drop from 60 FPS. The 1% lows told me otherwise, but it's okay. Complementary shaders, the normal ones, should be a little bit easier to run. We get 10 more frames per second, and they are slightly more vibrant, I guess, so that's great to see as well. Water is amazing, like all of it is amazing, guys. It's just great. I might even just shut up and let you enjoy the rest of the video and visuals flying around, you know, because at this point, what am I doing here? Sometimes I wonder that. A lot of times I wonder that. Okay. See the water here. Not a problem. Yeah, if it doesn't drop near all of this vegetation, it won't really drop too much in other areas, so it's all right. 80s, 69 1% lows. That's what I love to see as well. All right. Well, we got some lava here. Nice little light right there. Using complementary shaders, and this is a huge cave full of skeletons. Skeletons are the worst, by the way. Continuum stuff is more intensive. 69. Of course. Of course. Like, what is up with that number, dude? It's always following me every single time. I believe it was in the Dying Light 1 video that I made yesterday as well. Somewhere, like 1% lows or averages or whatever. Oh my god, so much stuttering. Didn't it stutter a heck of a lot as well previously with the Continuum shaders when loading new chunks and stuff? Some shaders seem to be a bit more prone to stuttering than others, that's for sure. This one is getting 60s, 70s. Oh boy, it's so off-putting, like... Okay, let's see it near the water now. That's what I want. Maybe it's more intensive. Wait, this way. There's more water. Yeah, oh my god, that's awful. That's just awful. It's not like VRAM related or anything. It's just, yeah. Kappa shaders. Damn, are these intensive, dude. Holy crap. Again, water is just amazing. The bloom is maybe a bit too much, but it's great. And I'm noticing now that we are at 4K that these are a little bit softer than the previous ones. But just a tiny bit. If you have like a 32-inch monitor at 4K, you won't notice a difference. But I am using a 42-inch, and I can tell that there is a bit too much softness going on, like TAA, for example, and FXAA. Yeah, drops into the 40s, basically. So Still playable, but I wouldn't use these at 4K at least. I'd prefer to drop it down to 1440p, for example, and have 60 plus all of the time. Lagless standard is next. Very similar look to vanilla once again, 200 frames per second even at 4K. Way sharper as well at the same time than the previous ones. And well, of course, no problems whatsoever at running these. Nostalgia shaders, let's see these though. It's kind of like Continuum shaders in terms of performance, but way better looking in my opinion. Maybe slightly more intensive. The fog though, the fog is a bit off-putting, you know, because everything else looks insanely good. Look at the water is so clear and detailed, but then the fog, it's too much. I also like in these shaders that the clouds are all different and at different heights in the sky. Look at that. Yeah, those are further away than these. So it's pretty interesting to see, you know. Project LUMA, here we go. Honestly, guys, I thought the 3070 would do a much worse job at 4K here. I don't know why. Again, it might be because I am testing a lot of recent titles lately and they're just not well optimized whatsoever. And I thought the 3070 was worse than it actually is. I wasn't giving it enough credit, but it is a great GPU, you know. As you can see, 70s. Project LUMA will stay above 60 frames per second at all times, I believe, unless you have a really huge world. In that case, by the way, it's probably a CPU-bound scenario when you have a huge world with a ton of stuff and you get like 30, 40 frames per second with the top-of-the-line GPU. It's usually because the CPU is holding it back. It's not really the GPU that can't really do stuff. SEUS PTGI E12. This is where the 3070 starts getting wrecked completely. 20s. Damn, is that intensive. Oh my god, and look at that frame time graph, completely crazy. It was pretty playable previously, now it is at 20s. HRR 3 is next, super vibrant, it's actually getting higher FPS here. It got lower FPS, I think, at 1440, didn't it, than PTGI? Maybe. I don't remember properly. 69 degrees Celsius on the GPU. That's what I love to see once again. But yeah, it still drops into the 20s, so nah, I wouldn't do this. Although at the 4K resolution, it starts looking pretty sharp, actually. It's softer than the other shaders still, but not by much. Anyway, stop it there. It's still not really that enjoyable, you know. If you want these really high-end shaders and demanding ones, you should probably stick to 1440p or even 1080p if you have a monitor like that. Now, SEUS Renewed, these are also pretty intensive and it's still managing 60 plus FPS. It might drop here and there once again, guys. That's just the norm. I think these are pretty comfortable to play with for sure if you like the look. And finally, Sildurs Vibrant Shaders. Shaders, volumetric lighting as well. Getting really nice FPS. Once again, these are not very intensive. Nice lens flares right there. And yeah, it's going to stay above 60 FPS 100% of the time. God, I forget. I'm not sure why I click reloads R so many times. I don't need to reload anything here in this game, obviously. All right, yeah. One of my favorite things about the Sildurs shaders is probably the God's rays coming off of the... no, they're not coming off of these. What the heck? They downgraded these. I'm 100% sure that they downgraded these. Out of the box, they used to have some really good looking God's rays. Now they don't. Why would they do that? And lastly, the question that everybody's asking, how does it run at 8K resolution? Here we are, 8K, same settings. Still using the Sildurs Vibrant shaders, but maybe I'm gonna downgrade it to like high instead of extreme, because extreme was getting 20 FPS, this is getting 25. So this is 4 times the 4K resolution. It's like playing on 4 4K monitors at the same time with shaders. Still getting 30 plus, not for long though, sometimes it drops. But it is a reasonable-ish experience, especially if you play on like medium shaders. That's super sharp though. I wonder now, how does it run using the HRR3 stuff, because these will run the game at half resolution. So it should look pretty good. Oh my god. 2 frames per second. We completely killed the RTX 3070 now in Minecraft with shaders. Damn, it's completely unplayable, and it's at half resolution internally, by the way. Although it looks so sharp still. I can see I'm gonna stop now. Please stop. Can you stop, game? Thank you. I can see like every single leaf of grass up in the distance. Like as far as the eye can see, or the chunks will render, even on the HRR stuff. So of course the other stuff will be even clearer to see, like right there, for example. It's insane. It is insane. 1 frame per second though. Yeah, that is too much. VRAM is also maxed out, by the way. Very interesting to see that. Let's try the SEUS PTGI shaders next. 6 frames per second, alright. Okay, so it runs much better than the previous ones, that's for sure. That motion blur though. And look, how interesting is that? I can see a little line right there separating things. It's weird. Never noticed that before at playable frame rates. See, the things you find by going down to 1 and 2 frames per second. After all, it's not that much better than the previous one. Wow, that is insane, dude. Let's see Project LUMA. These might be playable at double digits. Oh yes, look at that, 20s now with Project LUMA. Okay. You know what? It's feeling playable now that we tested it for a little bit at 2 frames per second. 20s don't feel all that bad anymore. Yeah, now you can actually move around. That's a win, I guess. At 8K resolution for the 3070, right? Maybe? No? Okay. Near the water, it drops even further. Doesn't drop from 20 though, so it's a smooth cinematic experience for sure here. 20-something frames on average it would be. Yeah, why are we talking like Yoda now? I have no idea. Let's try like Kappa shaders here at 8K. I'm skipping some of them right now, alright guys? Ooh, so intensive. I wonder if it is because it runs out of VRAM with some of these shaders. I don't know. Get out. Get out. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it might very well be. VRAM is maxed out again, and it's getting 3 frames. And these are not the path traced ones, you know, so pretty intensive. 4.5 gigahertz again. Interesting. Let's see the complementary shaders at 8K quickly here. Still gonna be unplayable. Yup, look at that. Wow. The Project LUMA ones were so playable compared to the others. Near the water, these actually dropped from 20, right? Oh no, maybe it was just loading and now it's getting 20. Interesting. Okay. Yep. So again, a cinematic experience here using complementary shaders. You can play like this if you really want to. I wouldn't. So like BSL, these weren't really as intensive as well. Okay, now BSL is actually getting 30 frames per second at 8K. Okay, not terrible. Will it stay above 30 near the water? Yes, it will. It didn't drop. It didn't drop. If you want that smooth 30 FPS at 8K, you can have it with BSL shaders. I'm not guaranteeing that it won't drop, because it probably will in other scenarios, but still. Most of the time, it will be above 30 FPS. Oh boy, look at that. Still hasn't dropped, I think. But I can feel that it's not responsive whatsoever with 30 FPS this game. And lastly, let's disable the shaders at 8K. And finally, without shaders, we see a GPU-bound scenario. We're not CPU-bound anymore. We're getting 200, 300 FPS at 8K resolution. Native, all right. That's pretty good. of course, it looks like this. It's very unimpressive in terms of how it looks, but it's an insanely high resolution. It's 33 megapixels basically. So yeah, that's been it for this one, my friends. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a really big one, and I am super tired at the end of this actually, but hopefully I covered everything that you guys are looking for. Let me know what your favorite ones are as well in the comments below, and if you've watched the entire thing, well, a gold star to you, or a cookie or whatever. Tell me in the comments. I will reply with a cookie. Okay? You guys deserve it. Thanks so much for watching again. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.